Thank you.
Hey, Khris.
So,
After the Eastern Conference Finals are over, you said you couldn't quite process it yet. Now that you're sitting up there talking to us on a finals media day, what does this moment feel like for you?
it's great. Hopefully I have another better moment in the next couple of days or week or two. But, it's been a great run so far. It's been a grind, but I think we all love it. We all appreciate it.
Drew Holiday said after that same game that he knows that they are prepared to ride on your shoulders kind of until the wheels fall off. How do you take that responsibility, process that responsibility? I know you're not one to think about pressure.
No, I'm going to ride them too. I mean, I think we're all, having each other's back out there. Drew's been fantastic. Giannis has when he's been out there. Brooke, Bobby, Pat, I go down the line, PJ Tucker. We all use each other out there. We all need each other out there.
Jim in the back.
Hey, Khris. So you've come back from an injury. You've worked on your game. What is your career has kind of been defined right by this work behind the scenes. So what drove you to that? Was it, winning this championship or respect or job security or what kind of wired you to be that way, to work this way?
Just be the best version of myself I could be. The best player. I mean, I think, I put a lot of work in, but every NBA player has. We wouldn't be here. We would be professionals if we didn't. To be the best, you have to work like the best, and I think we all believe in that.
So is this just how you're wired? So if you were working wherever else in some other line of work, this is how you would approach your? For
sure. I mean, I'm not gonna try to waste my time by just half-assing it. I'm gonna give it my all. I'm going to work to be the best I can. I may not be the greatest, but I feel like I could be the best version of myself.
Over on the right.
Hey, Khris, right here. Do you think this matchup is it's interesting for a lot of reasons, but, you and Devin Booker are kind of, I think, two of the more underappreciated stars in this league and, both playing for USA Basketball a little later. What do you think about that matchup? And do you think you guys kind of have a similar, it's cliche to say chip on the shoulder, but just a similar approach to the game because of maybe being overlooked a little?
I guess you could say that. I mean, I really can't tell you or give you, I guess, what you want to hear. I think, Book is a fantastic player. He's a younger player than myself. So, he's worked on his game. He's missed the playoffs for, how many years he's been in the league, and he's here in the finals the first time in this playoffs, which I think is, pretty cool and tough to do. Tells the type of person he is, how hard he works, how much he believes in this organization too.
Let's go right here, Eric in the second row.
Do you expect Giannis to play tomorrow night?
I can tell you, man, I expect him to play the next game or come back the day he got injured. He still wasn't out there, so I couldn't tell you.
For you, how do you try to support him through this? Like, we all know how he's wired, right? Like, he wanted to come back in that night, but how do you try to support him? Is it, hey, we're here for you, whatever, you need, or how do you try to do that?
Just tell him, do what's best for himself and his family. Don't rush back and put yourself at a greater risk for a greater injury. But he's a guy, he puts so much time and effort into his body to be the best version of himself also. Yeah.
For you guys this postseason, you've really leaned on switching a lot on defense. How do you think you guys have grown in that? I know against the Suns, you did it a lot in crunch time in the regular season, but just how do you think you guys have kind of grown in that in the postseason? It's
been great. I think, the biggest guy that, had to adjust the most is Brooke. I mean, he's a guy that's 7 foot that sometimes has to switch on to point guards, shooting guards. They try to take advantage of him, but he does a great job of, using his size, his length to contest shots to keep guys in front of him.
What do you think about Tuck and the way that he's kind of been able to help in that transition?
He's a guy that has a lot of experience in that. His whole career, he's been a guy that's guarded 1 through 5. So to have him on our team, to give us the confidence to go ahead and throw those different lineups out there and rely on him in a lot of different situations, it's been great.
Sean on the right.
Yeah, Khris, can you explain what you've seen from your team without Giannis?
Yeah, just, a team that's trying to play unselfish, trying to do it as a committee. When Giannis is out there, a lot of times we could just give him the ball and let him go to work and, let him orchestrate a lot of things out there. Without him, we have to do it by committee, moving the ball around, driving it a little bit more, playing just a little bit faster with a little bit of different flow. But I think guys have done a great job of adjusting with him not out there in two of the most important games of our season.
Yeah, and also you, Devin Booker, and Chris Paul have made an art of the mid-range shot. How much of a weapon is that for you three players?
I think it's huge. A lot of coaches, teams, schemes, they want you to shoot threes and layups, and that's what a lot of teams expect you to do. But when you stop, sometimes they just don't expect it. It gives you a clean look. So if you work on it, it almost seems like a layup or a three-point shot for myself.
Back left here.
Hey, Khris, going back to this idea that you're in the finals, no player on this team has ever been to the finals before. So what's it like being able to experience this together?
It's cool. Like everything's a first for us. Like this is my first media day for something like this. So we're all trying to stay locked in as much as we can, not think about the outside influences of, it being the NBA finals, just trying to take it one game at a time.
Pat described you as calm, cool, and collected. How has that approach helped you throughout your career?
Just stay the course. Not try to think about too much except for what I need to do on the basketball court. Not try to get rattled or not get rattled when things aren't going my way. Don't get too cocky when things are going my way. Just stay in the course and, just working for it.
Dwayne in the front.
Yeah, Khris, what's the biggest challenge or challenges in guarding Devin Booker?
Just a guy that he get tough shots, a guy that can score from the three, the mid-range, and, the paint, a guy that can get to the free throw line. He's a guy that really can score in every single way, which, it's tough to guard because you'll know when he's going to stop and shoot, when he's going to keep going, when he's going to look to create for others. It's just a great balance he has.
Go to Zoom on. Go ahead, Peter.
Okay, the next question and the last question is from Steve with the AP.
I was just wondering, I know the roster's changed quite a bit from last year, but for those of you who are back from last season, everything y'all went through in the bubble, from leading the protest for social justice to having your postseason end maybe a little earlier than you wanted, how did it kind of strengthen your bond and maybe toughen you for this postseason run, if at all?
I think everything we've been through is just experience. You learn from it. All the postseason failures we've had so far, we've found a way to use that as motivation and just use it and, let it teach us how to be better, how to be better people, how to be better players.
Thank you, Khris.
Thanks.
Brooke will be right up.